Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the latest AI breakthroughs, inventions, and news that are reshaping our world. Today, we're diving into Google's bombshell release, Gemini 3.1 Pro, just dropped on February 19, 2026, and Google is claiming it's their smartest AI yet for complex tasks. But is Gemini 3.1 Pro really the smartest AI in 2026? We're talking shocking benchmarks that more than double previous scores, beating out GPT-5.2 and Claude Opus 4.6 in key areas. Stick around as we unpack the features, run through real tests, and answer if this is hype or a true game-changer for AI in 2026. If you're into AI models, robots, tools, and breakthroughs, hit that like button now and subscribe for more. Let's get into it. First off, what exactly is Gemini 3.1 Pro? This isn't a full generational leap like from Gemini 2 to 3, it's the first point update in the Gemini 3 series. But don't let that fool you. Google DeepMind built Gemini 3.1 Pro as a natively multimodal powerhouse, handling text, audio, images, video, and even entire code repositories seamlessly. It's rolling out in preview across the Gemini API, Vertex AI for enterprises, the consumer Gemini app, Notebook LM, Google AI Studio, Gemini CLI, Google Anti-Gravity, Android Studio, and Gemini Enterprise. No price hike. It starts at just $2 per million input tokens and $12 per million output tokens, making it half the cost of rivals like Claude Opus 4.6 at $525 or GPT 5.2 at $1.75 for teens. That's a shocking value prop for the smartest AI in 2026 contenders. Google says Gemini 3.1 Pro excels at tasks where simple answers aren't enough. Think advanced reasoning, long horizon planning, agentic workflows, and synthesizing massive datasets. It's the core intelligence behind recent updates like Gemini 3 DeepThink. Now scaled for practical use in 2026 AI applications. Let's zoom in on the upgrades that make Gemini 3.1 Pro stand out. The headline is a massive reasoning boost, more than doubling performance on abstract puzzles from Gemini 3 Pro. It introduces adjustable thinking levels, light, medium, and high, letting you dial up depth for balancing speed and accuracy, similar to Deep Think mode for Ultra subscribers. Multimodal integration is native, so Gemini 3.1 Pro can process mixed inputs like building a real-time ISS tracking dashboard from API data, syncing UI elements, and rendering physics-based visuals, all autonomously. For coders, it generates clean, website-ready animated SVGs from text prompts. Pure code that's scalable and lightweight, no pixels involved. Agentic capabilities shine too. It orchestrates multi-step workflows without constant hand-holding, like resolving real-world software issues or navigating code bases. And with a 1 million token context window, you can feed Gemini 3.1 Pro an entire codebase at once. These features position Gemini 3.1 Pro as a frontrunner in 2026 AI trends, from agentic tools to creative generation. Now, the meat, those shocking benchmarks. Google released a model card with results as of February 2026, and Gemini 3.1 Pro leads on 13 out of 16 major benchmarks, outperforming Gemini 3 Pro and GPT 5.2. First, ARC AGI-2 for abstract reasoning puzzles. Gemini 3.1 Pro scores a shocking 77.1%, more than doubling Gemini 3 Pro's 31.1%. That's ahead of Claude Opus 4.6 at 68.8% and GPT 5.2 at 52.9%. This benchmark tests novel logic patterns outside training data, showing Gemini 3.1 Pro's edge in human-like abstraction. With Deep Think mode, it pushes to 84.6%, mind-blowing for 2026 AI breakthroughs. Next, humanity's last exam. Testing advanced academic reasoning without tools. Gemini 3.1 Pro hits 44.4%, beating Claude Opus 4.6's 40.0% and GPT 5.2's 34.5%. On GPQA Diamond for doctoral-level science in physics, biology, and chemistry, 94.3%, topping Opus 4.6 at 91.3% and GPT 5.2 at 92.4%. That's deep domain synthesis at play. For coding and agentic tasks, SWE Bench verified for real-world Python fixes, 80.6%. First place, just ahead of Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.2. On SWE Bench Pro Public, 54.2%. Live Code Bench ELO for competitive programming, a whopping 2887, vastly outperforming GPT 5.2's 2393. Terminal Bench 2.0 for agentic terminal coding, 68.5%, leading Opus 4.6 at 65.4% and GPT 5.2 at 54.0%. Multimodal benchmarks like MMMU Pro, 80.5%. On MCP Atlas for multi-step workflows, 69.2%, up 15 points from 3 Pro. BrowseComp for agentic web search, 85.9%, surging from 3 Pro's 59.2%. Apex agents for long horizon tasks, 33.5%, nearly double 3 Pro's 18.4%, beating GPT 5.2 and Opus 4.6. And T2 Bench Telecom, 99.3% on agentic tool use. Overall, on the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, 57, highest ever, above Opus 4.6 and GPT-5.2. It generated 57 million tokens in evals, but at under $900 cost, costing less than half of rivals like Opus at $2,486 or GPT-5.2 at $2,304. Speed, 110 tokens per second faster than average. These shocking benchmarks scream success. So, how does Gemini 3.1 Pro stack up against the competition? Against OpenAI's GPT-5.2, Gemini wins on reasoning like ARC-AGI2 and GPQA. But GPT-5.2 edges in creative outputs and some real-world economic tasks. xAI's Grok 4.2 holds strong in trading sims, but Gemini's multimodal reasoning pulls ahead. Versus Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6, Gemini 3.1 Pro dominates abstract reasoning and science, plus coding ELO. Opus wins slightly on SWE bench. On the vibe-based arena leaderboard, Opus leads text slightly, but Gemini's token efficiency and price make it the value king. Evaluations cost half as much. Real user buzz on X. Posts are exploding. Gemini 3.1 Pro just beat Claude and GPT on every major benchmark. Google reclaimed the smartest AI title with 57 on artificial analysis, costing $890 for full benchmarks versus $2,186 for Opus. The you get what you pay for era is dead. Even devs say it's great for web design over Opus, with 3-tier thinking levels dialing up power on demand. Beyond benchmarks, let's talk real-world impact. How Gemini 3.1 Pro could transform your workflow in 2026. For developers, it's an engineering partner. It resolves branching logic, edge cases, and architectural decisions in Gemini 3.1 Pro coding tests, refactoring files without mistakes. One demo, it builds interactive 3D experiences like a Starling murmuration sim with hand tracking and generative audio that shifts based on movement, all from a prompt. In business, agentic workflows mean automating knowledge work, synthesizing messy APIs into live dashboards, like tracking ISS orbits with telemetry and physics visuals. For creatives, those SVG animations from text are a breakthrough. Crisp, scalable graphics for websites without design tools. Early tests show it's flawless on theorem proving, debugging compiler bugs like stack underflows, and even L-calculus problems where it outperforms humans in simplicity. Hands-on impressions? It's a deep think mini with adjustable reasoning. Light for quick tasks, high for complex ones. In web design, it feels great compared to Opus 4.6, generating non-generic UIs. For AI agents, 99.3% on T2 Bench means reliable multi-step telecom workflows. Drawbacks? It can go overboard, writing full files instead of patches, and struggles with inferring intent or one-shot vibe coding. But for structural advancements in 2026 AI tools, it's unmatched. Think building full business growth systems or modeling complex systems end-to-end. Ready to try Gemini 3.1 Pro yourself? Here's a step-by-step tutorial packed with 2026 specifics. No fluff, just actionable facts for beginners and devs. First, access it free in Google AI Studio. Head to aistudio.google.com, sign in with your Google account, and select Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview from the model dropdown. Start prompting right away. It's rate-limited, but perfect for testing agentic workflows. Pro tip, enable Canvas under Tools to run code live and visualize outputs. For API integration in apps, get your key. In AI Studio, click Get API Key, name it, and tie it to a Google Cloud project. The key shows once, so copy it securely. Use the Python SDK, install Google Generative AI, configure with your key, and initialize. For a basic text call, model.generate-content, explain quantum computing simply. Dial thinking levels for precision. Set thinking level as light for fast replies, medium for balanced, or high for deep reasoning at 4x tokens build. Multimodal. Pass DICs for image data alongside text prompts. For agentic tools, define functions. Gemini handles calling and looping autonomously. CLI trick. Type Gemini. Model to switch instantly. Pricing fact, input $2 million tokens, output $12, context caching cuts costs for repeated prompts. Integrate with VS Code for vibe coding. For production, use Vertex AI for scaling with 1 GB file limits and Google Maps grounding for accuracy. Monitor via Weave or Comet API for observability. Build apps like AI image pipelines. Use Gemini to craft prompts, then chain to generation APIs. Is Gemini 3.1 Pro really the smartest AI in 2026 or just hype? The shocking benchmarks are real. It reclaims leadership in reasoning and agentics. It reclaims leadership, but it's not unbeatable. Lags on economic tasks, and rivals win in creativity. Curated demos shine, but everyday use might reveal gaps. Still, at half the price with top scores, it's a legit step up. If smartest means leading in value and practical smarts, yes, Gemini 3.1 Pro earns the crown. There you have it. Gemini 3.1 Pro just dropped. What do you think? Is it overhyped or the real deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if these facts blew your mind, and subscribe for more AI news, tools, and inventions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.